Today's stories are taken from r/glitchinthematrix. Am I actually dead? Posted by u/fartinthewindy. I believe I was killed in a car wreck in 2001. I recall the moment of death when my neck broke. I was not wearing a seatbelt and my face hit the area right where the windshield meets the roof. My head back of my head touched my back and my neck broke, I think. But in this reality I walked away from the wreck, but everything has seemed off ever since. Like a burn in the top of your mouth that you can't quit plunging your tongue into. It just aggravates my mind. The oddities never stop to remind me that I died. That my consciousness transcended through the multiverse to this reality, but I knew what is happening. It started with just odd things until I came to this conclusion. As we are spread across this multiverse, every choice creating a new dimensional existence, do we all share a consciousness on some level? In the rare occasion does the consciousness in one reality pick up on what happened in a neighboring closer reality? I'm starting to ramble and I've got to clear my head as it's starting to hurt. But ask yourself if the little random oddities in your life are not so random and are actually clues to the truth. The Everett model is correct. Every choice causes another reality to open up and they are infinite. Pray your mind doesn't get spread across multiple realities or you'll eventually end up like me, one domino away from insanity. I met my future self? Maybe? Posted by u/sickmcnasty. Backstory: this is important later. For about 9 months or so I was planning to move to California last September. Plans fell through due to financial reasons and other opportunities have come my way. This happened to me while I was at work closing, so I was completely alone. A customer came in. He was maybe in his early 60s, I'm 21. I wouldn't say he looked like me, but he was definitely dressed similar to me, and that's how I'd expect myself to dress at that age. Kinda old man surfy SoCal vibes. But this guy says, man, I need some caffeine. I know it's late, but I've been consuming that stuff daily since I was a little kid. I told him me too. Since I was about 8 I started drinking coffee, which is a fact about me. This guy continues to talk about how he loves the music I was playing in the store, etc. Then out of the blue this guy says, so I have to ask, why'd you choose not to move to California? I did not mention California to this man at all. I have never met this man. I don't know who he is or how he knew. None of my coworkers, or really anyone beside my family, knew about my plans for California. I served him his drink, and as he walked out he said, you'll go. Maybe not now, but you love that place. Again, I never spoke about California to him, but he knew I was planning to move there and he knew I loved that place. He walked out and I have not seen him since. I asked my parents and anyone who knew about my plans if they had told anyone, more specifically an older man. They all said no per my request to keep it on the down low. To this day I am still in awe. My life's glitching. Posted by u/eggwarm is good. Disclaimer: no, I don't use drugs of any kind, and no, I don't have a mental condition. Also my first post, so bear with me. Now to the story. For a bit of background, I live with my mom, grandparents, my older brother and the young one. We all have stories from my house because unusual things happens to all of us from time to time, but I'm going to tell you about some of the weirdest unexplainable things that happened to me. This incident happened about a year ago, when me and my friends played online on COD. It was 4 p.m. and we just finished a long gaming session from the early morning. I clearly remember looking at the watch, seeing that it was 4 p.m. with still light outside. I went to shower and I can swear on my life it hadn't been more than 15 minutes at most, but when I got out it was totally dark and showed 11 p.m. in the watch. To this day I have absolutely no idea what happened during those 6-7 hours of my life. The second one was about 8 months ago when I was home alone. I was making myself some late night snack when I felt what I can describe only as the feeling of falling upwards, I think. After the feeling had left me, my plate was finished, not like clean or anything, but like somebody ate everything I made in that long second. Note that I only had finished putting the food on my plate when I had that weird feeling, and suddenly the plate was only left with crumbles of food. For the last story that happened to me a couple days ago, and I'm still having a really hard time to rationalize, but luckily I wasn't alone, so I have someone to speak to about this. It was me and my best friend just playing together on 2K when the lights went out for a moment and we both got cold, but not a simple cold. A cold I could feel within me, as if the sun vanished and we were left with only darkness. And then our phones started to ring with messages from our family asking why we don't answer the phone and where are we, because we haven't been answering our phones the whole day. The weird part is that my mom looked in my room and said we weren't there, and both of us don't remember my mom opening the door or even asking, and seemingly we had just vanished from Earth for a couple hours. Both of us felt super tired, and I didn't even argue with my mom when she said she looked in my room and I was missing, even though I didn't leave my room since my friend came over. There's a lot of other small things, but I wanted to tell you about the things that freaked me out and keep freaking me out to this day. Chicken death doubled, posted by u/Zoe. Went to feed my chickens when I noticed one had its head promptly removed, feathers everywhere. Obviously a cat or something, but it was so late I couldn't deal with the dead body at the time, so I simply placed it in my garage for the time being and closed the door so I could bury it in the morning. Anyway, I wake up and hear my rooster making his statement, so I remember to go bury the chicken, and as I'm walking out I notice all the feathers have changed color. Maybe I had a stroke, I'm not sure, but the chick I had seen dead was fat, huge and stripy. The feathers I was seeing were brown. I distinctly remember her being my big white and black chicken. I go to the pen first and check inside, and lo and behold, my big unmistakable chicken is nowhere to be found. With further inspection, neither is my Isa brown hen who was there the previous night when I fed them. Now confused, I let my chickens out and check the nesting boxes. I cannot stress enough that I know I put her to bed. She was my oldest chicken and I carried her to the pen. How did she take the place of my fat hen? I go to the garage now. The chickens are following me eagerly, and right there is the fat white and black chick I knew I had picked up. So now I'm starting to think some weird glitch happened when I picked up my Isa brown, and I cannot explain this at all. I went to tell my dad and he starts screaming saying I didn't lock her up and whatnot and left her to die, but I know I did. Only thing I can think of is I am thinking of a different day, but I'm so certain I carried her to the pen that day. I'm so baffled I cannot make this up. I clean up the feathers, which are all brown, and now I'm wondering where my headless chicken's feathers have gone. I buried her up the paddock and came back to search for my Isa hen's body, and it's nowhere to be found. Did a fox take it? Did she literally just up and disappear? No blood, no nothing, just a few feathers. I cannot explain this and I'm so confused by it. Triple counted my chickens and will be triple counting again in the morning. This makes no sense to me. I feel like I'm on acid or having a stroke. I searched everywhere thinking since she was old maybe she died in a corner, but how if I put her away? How did her feathers get out there? Also noticed that my white and black chick's feathers were in the pen, but that was probably from her living there. Still absolutely baffled by this unsettling glitch. Posted by u/WittyCatchy user. This happened in 2010. It was a lovely summer afternoon. Me and my friends just got back from shopping. Walked through my front door with them, placed my shopping bag on top of the sofa, and slumped back onto another sofa. My sister, platinum blonde hair, bowl cut, about 9 to 10 at the time, comes into the living room and starts rummaging through my bag. I tell her to get lost. She wanders off into the other room and presumably goes upstairs. My friends don't acknowledge the interaction, we just carry on talking. Half an hour later, my mom and sister come through the front door. Shivers up my spine. Wait a minute, you were here? What are you talking about? We've just got home. How was your day? No, wait. I reiterate my version of events to my mom, sister and friends, and they burst out laughing. Calling me crazy, seeing ghosts or whatever. The reason I made a big deal about my sister's appearance previously, is because even though the actual image of her was fuzzy, seeing her going through my bag, I distinctly remember the blonde hair. To this day, I'm not sure what happened. But I know for damn sure something happened. Video that never happened. Posted by u/IttyBittyBats. This happened on Saturday around 3:45 p.m. EST. All the names here have been changed. I was mowing my yard and listening to September by Earth, Wind and Fire in my AirPods. At the end of the song, when the horns and voices are fading out, I realized I was hearing a female voice saying, "Gang's all here," before some background noise. That audio looped 3 times before I pulled my phone out of my pocket to see a friend of mine, Kendall, saying, "Gang's all here," and panning over to her boyfriend, Alex, and another friend, Martin, sitting on a yard swing. I tapped out of the video, saw Kendall send a Snapchat video and that I had sent a video, so I sent a new one asking if I had accidentally recorded a pocket video. I finished mowing and FaceTimed Kendall around 4:05 p.m. We were talking about something else when I asked, "Oh hey, did I send a pocket video? You never responded." She said, "No, I didn't know what you were talking about, so I ignored it." I explained to her what I had seen and she said she never sent that video. She never recorded it. It never happened. Plus they hadn't seen Martin in days. Cut to a few hours later, Kendall shows up at my house with Alex. We go through the story again and I describe the swing and the setting of the video. I finished mowing and FaceTimed Kendall around 4:05 p.m. We were talking about something else when I asked, "Oh hey, did I send a pocket video? You never responded." She said, "No, I didn't know what you were talking about, so I ignored it." I explained to her what I had seen and she said she never sent that video. She never recorded it. It never happened. Plus they hadn't seen Martin in days. Cut to a few hours later, Kendall shows up at my house with Alex. We go through the story again and I describe the swing and the setting of the video. The next morning, I told this story on my Snapchat story to see if anyone had any ideas about what might have happened. The only interesting response I got was from Martin. He said that there was something familiar about the scenario but that what I described hadn't actually happened. If it had just been audio, I would chalk it up to a Bluetooth glitch. But I absolutely heard and saw this video. Anyone have any ideas? I don't think I left anything out, but we'll edit it or answer questions if you have them. I've never had this happen to me before.
Thanks for watching. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe for more videos.